Hello, I'm here to report my findings on the mass fish death in our area and what's responsible for it. It is caused by neurotoxic shellfish poisoning, or better known as NSP. The toxin in question is a brevetoxin from an algae bloom or red tide. It's non-toxic to shellfish. However, it is toxic to fish, birds, and aquatic mammals. There are no reported human deaths due to this toxin. The toxin is tasteless, odorless, heat and acid stable. It can withstand heat up to 300 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's pretty tough, pretty durable. The toxin affects the sodium ion channels in cell walls. This affects the membrane properties of excitable cell types in ways that enhances the inward flow of sodium into the cells. Toxin appears to produce its sensory symptoms by transforming fast sodium channels into slower ones, resulting in a constant activation and repeated firing. Since brevetoxins are also enzymatic inhibitors of the lysosomal proteinases known as cathepsins found in the phagocytic cells such as macrophages and lymphocytes. Oral exposure to humans occurs 30 minutes to 3 hours after ingestion of contaminated shellfish. Lasts a few days, includes nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, chills, sweats, reversal of temperature, hypotension, arrhythmia, numbness, tingling of lips, face, and extremities, cramps, bronchoconstriction, paralysis, seizures, and coma. No mortality or chronic symptoms are reported. Though I would say with all the symptoms that you could get, you'd probably wish that, Dermal exposure may cause eye and nasal membrane irritation. Inhalation, of the most part, as soon as you leave the area, there are no adverse effects, or if you get in air conditioning, just things like of that nature, you should be fine. However, there are reports of respiratory irritation, red eyes, runny nose, non-productive cough, and bronchoconstriction. It can actually go so far as to suppressing the immune system, but that's in very rare cases. Now, the toxicity to aquatic organisms, when the concentration reaches 100,000 cells per liter, fish will start to die. Symptoms include violent twisting and corkscrew swimming, pectoral and caudal fin analysis progressing to a loss of equilibrium, and subsequent respiratory paralysis and death. Fish encounter this toxin by eating the algae or other organisms that had ingested it. They can also receive it by just swimming through it, as well as breathing it in, as long as they're within where the tide is. And the algae can be broken down, the toxins can actually be broken down just enough by the waves themselves. That is, even with all this, normal activities can still be conducted. They don't need any dead or distressed fish of any type. Any live fish caught can be eaten and filleted and rinsed thoroughly. The edible meat of shellfish can be eaten. Do not eat the digestive gland. Now, in conclusion, as you've seen, this is what my report has. Now, mammals and birds that eat the contaminated fish, they can also get sick and also die. Humans, on the other hand, we just get the symptoms that I described, but there have been no reported deaths related to neurotoxic shellfish poisoning. That's not to say that it's still not a serious issue, just have to make sure that we test the waters, and it can last anywhere from days, weeks to months. Just depends on the tide, depends on the weather. There's a lot of factors this plays into this from even just currents. But again, it's not really that big of an issue as far as tourism, boating, or any of the other activities that anybody might enjoy on the water. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.